I am so happy you've joined me. It's been a really fun year or so learning about crypto and blockchain with everybody on TikTok, but it's time to get real serious now. It's time to put everything I've learned into one 10-week course. So a little bit about me. My name's Karin, as you know. I am an active trader and investor, so disclaimer there. I have a background in law, information privacy, data, tech. I'm doing my own thing. I'm freelancing in the tech space and in Web3 and in crypto. And part of this next 10 weeks will also be talking and learning with you about how we can create, a different life and create something different to what we've been told. We've been told to go to uni and it's okay if you incur crazy debts because there will be a job waiting for you and you'll be able to buy a house and you'll be all good. I think the last 2 years, it's been 2 years, guys, of this pandemic. I've spent a lot of time at home thinking about what I wanted from life, and I know that I'm not the only one because I've connected with so many people like you that are interested in this stuff, or interested in maybe what seems crazy, but the more you learn about it, the more you learn how serious this stuff really is and how important knowing about crypto and what's going on in the world really is. So I come at crypto from that angle. I like to do bigger picture, but there's going to be a lot we're going to learn over the next 10 weeks anyway, so let's do it. So let's quickly go over the schedule for the next 10 weeks. So this week we're going to cover key concepts. That's what today's session is. We're going to lay those foundations for this crypto and blockchain learning journey. Then we're going to go into cryptocurrencies themselves. We'll talk mostly about Bitcoin, but a lot of the other main cryptos as well. I think it's really important to, even if you are a trader investor, to sometimes go back a few steps and just have a little, check-in that you've got things right, that you've learned, enough about the risks, you're appropriately mitigating those risks, you're taking care of your data, you're taking care of your crypto. The idea is that there's something for everyone in this course. Then we're going to go ahead and learn about crypto and fundamental analysis and technical analysis. What that means is looking at the projects themselves, the teams, are these good investments for you, for what you're looking for? And then technical analysis focuses a little bit more on reading the charts, what's happening with all those candlesticks, what's the go, basically buy low, sell high. That's what technical analysis is all about. I've summed it up for you. Then we're going to learn about DeFi, which is decentralized finance. So what's happened from this Bitcoin crypto bubble is a lot of concepts of decentralization have come from that. So what decentralization means is it basically means taking the power away from one entity, where a lot of power is, if you look at the companies that hold our information, hold our accounts, hold all that stuff, it's usually in one person's hands. Think of a bank. So this concept of decentralization means kind of taking out that middleman and going directly to the party where you want to go. If I want to transfer you money in a decentralized system, I don't need to go through the bank. I can go directly to you. There's a lot more to it than that, but that is a very basic idea of DeFi. Then we're going to learn about trading and investing in crypto. We're going to get to the real meat of it. How do I trade and invest? What am I trading and investing in? What times am I doing that? What's my risk strategy? What else do I need to be knowing? What am I missing? So we're gonna hit that up in week 6. And then buying and selling crypto, we're unpacking those themes a little bit more in a little bit more detail. There's a lot there. Then in week 8, we're going to talk about choosing a wallet. That comes up a lot in the previous weeks, but we go into nice hefty detail in week 8. These are things that are important. There are drier aspects to crypto, things like how to secure your coins, how to secure your passwords. They're a little bit more dry, but they're so important, so important. And then in week 9, for my tech heads, we're going to go a little bit deeper into the actual technology behind crypto. So if you have me on TikTok, you would know that I do a variety of beginner's content, and then sort of intermediate content, and then into more technical content. So give me some feedback. This will be a learning journey for all of us, and hopefully we'll get the right angle together. And then in week 10, we're gonna look forward. We're gonna look to the future of blockchain and cryptocurrencies. I mean, the more you learn about it, I think the more you get excited about the potential future. I know for me that I'm an empath and I read the news and I see what's going on in the world, and thank God that I have crypto and blockchain to learn about, because there are so many good news stories and potential powerful, amazing changes that can come from the tech. So that gets me through. Okay, so the key concepts we're starting with today, as I said, we're easing in. We're gonna talk about blockchain, fiat currency, cryptocurrency, crypto coins, tokens, and altcoins, and what gives crypto value. Basically, the whys. So let's do it. So let's start nice and high level. What is blockchain, or a blockchain, or the blockchain? Basically, the blockchain is a type of database or storage record system. If I send you $100 and we record that on the blockchain, what will happen is that that will be held in a block. It will be added to the chain of other virtual cryptographic blocks. All that's happening here is that it is a distributed ledger, meaning that it's for everyone to see. Everyone can see that I've sent you $100. It's up there, we can look it up, the information's there. I can't change it, you can't change it. It is a secure database that can be trusted. So keeping it very simple, a blockchain is a public record of transactions. It is a database, or it is a kind of storage record system where we can see what's happening, because transactions and trades and decisions are recorded up there, tacked on by mathematical equations and cryptography in a very secure way to other transactions. And it's all up there for us to see. As I mentioned, we'll get more into the tech later, but for now, all you need to know is that it's a type of database that has multiple computers in them, or that can access them. Think of it as up in the cloud. It is a record that is stored on or maintained by a network of multiple computers, which is why it's so secure, because to take down that record of information, it's not like, a typical storage system where you take down that database, and if it's backed up in another database and you take that one too, the info's gone. Unless you take down all of these computers or this network, the info cannot be changed, it cannot be tampered with, and it cannot be altered, and it cannot be deleted. So let's recap the main points about the blockchain. All blockchains are databases, but not all databases are blockchains. All blockchains are distributed ledgers, but not all distributed ledgers are blockchains. The blockchain cannot be altered without breaking it. And cryptocurrencies run on blockchain and distributed ledger technology. So this is just the bigger picture. Bitcoin is a type of crypto, and crypto is just a type of use, or an example of the use of the blockchain technology. The blockchain technology being the technology that allows a set of information to be upheld by a bunch of computers and a bunch of systems in a way that one hacker can't just come in and take down. That's not to say that Bitcoin can't be hacked and cryptos can't be hacked, but this is the general idea. So in crypto, you will come across the term fiat currency. So fiat, when I first read it, I was like, I don't understand what's going on. But it's basically just the Australian dollar, the US dollar, the pound. Fiat is a type of money that the government gives to people. So it's really interesting because fiat is not backed by anything like gold or silver. The value of the dollar is determined on how much there is, how it's being used, and what level of power the government has, as well as a number of other things that factor into inflation, global trade, blah, blah, blah. But the point is that fiat currency is what the government says to you, this is what you'll be paid in, this is what we're using in this country, this is the deal. So it's interesting because when I talk about crypto, people are like, but like, what gives it value? What gives it importance? Why are people trading and accepting it? Well, just like what the US dollar or the Australian dollar gives it importance. Certain people say, we'll take that, and certain people say, we'll use that, and there it is. That's honestly all it takes. That is why it scares government so much that we, as a race, a human race, can just up and go. These structures you've created of banks and corruption and politics, all of those things, we might not need to use them in exactly the same way that you've told us we need to. But it's just interesting to note that the US dollar used to be backed by gold, but now it's backed by nothing. All it is that the government says, this is valuable, this is important, we'd like you to use this. So that's a little history of fiat currency. The juicy bit. Okay, what is crypto? So a cryptocurrency is a digital asset or a digital form of money. What is money anyways? In the bank, it's all just numbers on screens anyways, so not a huge leap. Cryptocurrencies are innovative in many ways. One key innovation is the peer-to-peer nature of crypto, which makes it possible to send and receive without having to trust the third party, such as a bank or a payments processor like Visa or MasterCard. This makes cryptocurrency similar to physical cash, except for the fact that cryptocurrencies are entirely digital. So we touched on the history of Bitcoin a little bit, and we will go back to it many times throughout this course, but just a reminder, in 2009, Nakamoto mined the first Bitcoin block, meaning the first transaction was verified and added to the base of the chain. Bitcoin is currently still the #1 in market cap and therefore the most successful, but that's contentious. We can talk about that later as well. Of hundreds, well actually thousands now, there are over 10,000 currencies. Attempts to create a digital currency. So sticking with the basics, we're going to learn a lot of new terms over the next 10 weeks. So what are coins, tokens, altcoins, all the rest? Well, the whole coin versus token debate comes down to really what is the function and what is the form of the coin or token. So a crypto coin usually means it's a currency, a cryptocurrency, and is meant to be used as a form of payment. So Bitcoin is a coin, is a cryptocurrency coin. And then a token typically has a lot more functionality behind it. We'll talk about that in a second. An altcoin is a term used to refer to anything other than Bitcoin. So I found that really confusing at the start. I was like, altcoins I would have thought would be more alternative things like on decentralized exchanges. We'll talk about those later as well, but it really is just anything apart from Bitcoin. So what is a token and how is it different to a coin? Well, a token is a type of cryptocurrency that represents an asset or a specific use of a particular cryptocurrency and resides on its blockchain. So in other words, tokens are created on existing blockchains. This doesn't matter too much, just keep it in the back of your head, and as we go forth, these terms will sort of slot into what you're learning. Speaking of crypto terms, I created this crypto glossary a long time ago. It's been on my website for ages actually. So please go have a look, download your free crypto glossary, have a flick through. The idea is that it's A to Z. The more you become familiar with these various terms, the more you see them in different contexts, the more all of this will start to like really make sense. And you're learning a new language, you're learning a new field, a new space. So be patient with yourself, learn words here and there, test yourself where you can, and just keep reading and keep being open to new concepts and new ways of learning about these concepts. So what gives crypto value? Why is a certain type of crypto like Bitcoin on any given day $1 or $60,000? What is driving this? So I like to think of the crypto market in some ways like the stock market. You go and look at the stock market, you see many companies are doing this. What's going on? That is just reflective of the project. What's happening? What is the supply or demand of that project or the product of that project? So the price for a cryptocurrency can be driven up if the demand for its coin outpaces supply, such as the rate at which new blocks are mined or created, So that's how many cryptocurrencies are created. We'll talk about mining later. Some cryptos, like Bitcoin, are hard capped with a preset maximum number of tokens that will ever be introduced. So Bitcoin is actually deflationary. Because it is hard capped at this number, it's written in the code. Only 21 million will ever be created, no more than that. So it's deflationary in that as the numbers go down, actually our demand increases rather than, for example, the US dollar, which is inflationary. We've seen crazy inflation, meaning just print more and more and more and more and more. Can't do that with Bitcoin. So supply and demand. Think about gold or diamonds. They're rare, so the demand goes up. If they were everywhere, if they were on the corner, would they be as rare? Would we consider them to be as valuable? Maybe not. Decreasing rewards. So with decreasing financial incentive, with greater competition, there are so many more projects coming out. That might affect supply and demand or the value of a crypto. And competition, as I mentioned, this is actually an old stat here, 6,500 cryptocurrencies. There are over 10,000 cryptocurrencies now. So the competition is insane. And in this journey, you'll get to learn that these are projects. These are real projects. These are companies with aims and goals and roadmaps and stakeholders and investors. Some of these projects or cryptos are companies doing things in the real world, building buildings, building projects, building infrastructure for our real world. So that's also an important thing to realize, is that we're not just trading little things on a screen. We're backing projects. We're backing teams, building very real things. So that's why it's so exciting. So a little more on what gives crypto value, or what drives the price up and down. So the utility and the needed market cap for transactions, we'll get into that. It's a little bit more complicated, but we'll get into that later. And the changes in governments, laws, and regulations. So if you've been in the crypto game this year or beyond, you would have seen that every time a country bans or says something negative about crypto, the price tanks. And what that is market sentiment. People go, oh, this country's banned it. I knew it was a scam. I knew it was a Ponzi scheme. I knew it. I'm selling, I'm getting out. And then, the demand, therefore the value, therefore the price goes plummeting down. And all of this is why I talk a lot about keeping your emotions in check, because you log in one day and you see the price down here and you go, oh, I should sell too. But then next minute, one country like El Salvador makes Bitcoin legal tender and the price goes like that. So it's really just about figuring out what you believe and what you believe in and what you want to see in the world and what you want to support and what you want to learn about. And that could be crypto. But part of that means being aware of these changes in the world and how that affects the price. Market cap is a term that comes up really often. So the market cap is the total value of all the coins that have been mined. Market cap is calculated by multiplying the number of coins in circulation by the current market price of a single coin. So save the screen for later, because this term comes up a lot, and we'll talk about how we can use this term to evaluate projects, evaluate how much money is in them, evaluate what they're worth. But part of this is just learning new terms, so keep an eye on this one. So what makes Bitcoin specifically as a type of cryptocurrency valuable? So bringing in some of the key themes that I've mentioned earlier. There is a limited supply, so it acts as a deflationary asset, which might be very valuable for a currency. It cannot be copied because, as I mentioned earlier, transactions are recorded on a distributed database that is there for everyone to see. It's basically like in the cloud. You can see whatever in the cloud. If you have the right address to go and look at wherever it is, it's there. But the blockchain keeps track of the transactions and ensures that the system continues to operate based on the original rules put forth in the code. It's transportable. You can send it pretty easily across the world pretty quickly. Having said that, there are many other cryptos and coins and tokens that we'll talk about that share these same really useful in a digital environment traits. It's transferable as well. Can you believe we've already made it to the end of week 1, session 1, key concepts? So please do stay in touch with me. I would love to hear what your questions are, to hear your thoughts on crypto and Bitcoin and all of the above. But I think the next 10 weeks is going to be really interesting and really exciting. And I'm sure that this is the right way to do it. We're starting with the foundations and we're going to learn about the potential of this really incredible tech. So thank you so much for tuning in and dipping your toes into this crypto blockchain journey with me. As I mentioned, we've got a 10-week journey ahead of us and there will be many resources to accompany that. There are already tons of free resources on my website, www.cryptokarin.com. Go check them out. There is also that free glossary, tons of infographics, and very importantly, my baby that I've been working on for about a year. It's been a long year. My Crypto Karin Guide to Cryptocurrency and Blockchain Beginner's Guide book. My textbook, my course book, whatever you want to call it. It will be out soon and it will take you through this journey with everything to all your questions answered and more. There will be a couple of videos every week for the next 10 weeks and you're going to learn crypto and blockchain. That's a sitch. So please come along over the next 10 weeks. Let's learn crypto, blockchain, everything from nothing to trading, investing, and starting your future with crypto. Love you guys. Thank you.